Hello, this is Michael, and welcome to week 7. So, a quick recap and some housekeeping. I think everybody's doing well. I have yet to go through and grade this week's participation, but I've seen a lot of sitemaps, and I'm pretty happy. Hopefully, you're getting the understanding of how sometimes each week we do a little exercise. So, in this case, we've got this exercise about understanding different navigation patterns. And then at the same time, we're doing how does your taxonomy turn into something where your information's organized. So I think both of these should hit home as being pretty good steps at this point as we're trying to work our way up from last week of just understanding how can you group things in a more effective and or user-friendly manner. So that was the goal of this week. The same thing is going to hold true of the next coming week. We're going to actually begin to visualize some of this in a very low fidelity way. So before I get there, just to let you know, these will be deliverables which will be part of the next assignment. And the next assignment, I've adjusted the dates. I think I got them a little bit wrong, so I think I pushed them a week because we still have 2 more weeks of work to get this all together. If I offered suggestions about your sitemap, please make them. And so when you turn it in finally, I'm looking for not necessarily this version, but the new improved and or real version, let's call it. So we're still in a world where I assume this stuff is very easy to change. What you might have found out is that by doing all this work and putting things in nice little boxes that you might feel resistant to change. And please, I understand we're just a class and your time is precious, and I do understand that, but I want these to be as quick and malleable as possible, because I'm afraid one thing about sitemap and the work that you've done is probably nobody out there can really interpret a sitemap. A lot of reasons why. One is we talked about Gestalt theory, right? So that just means whenever things get into nice little boxes with little lines, people feel somewhat satisfied that it's organized. However, when it actually comes true, it can make no sense at all. I hope that I'm somewhat able to read through and give you good feedback. So please take that as being something that's helpful in the next step, which is this week, where we start to draw things out. So if anyone's out there familiar with any kind of wireframing, I've got some examples up here I want you to look through. Certainly look through this week talking of what the point of wireframing is. And this week will be about making one wireframe. I would like you to choose sort of a detail page. That would give me the markup of your record, which hopefully we get back to the markup that you used about how things are structured, and that helps you display that record if you do make changes. Again, let's hope that we try to stay honest here and we realize that we might not have understood something that might help us later on to make a better experience. You're going to pick navigation patterns or patterns. I would suggest at the moment that you do things for more of a desktop display, since mobile makes your life a lot more complicated. But if you want to do mobile, that's fine as well, if you want to give that a try. It is definitely more of a pro or a challenge to try to fit navigation plus records into a mobile form factor. So yes, if you're using a larger screen, just go ahead and we just want one as a starting point to do the same thing. I'll give you some feedback on it. I'll try to figure some things out, and we'll be able to iterate quickly, hopefully, and get to a good point where we've got a basic standard. Here's our navigation, and here's a record or records. One other new concept that we're going to bring in could be filtering. So if you're looking, I've got some examples here of how filters can be very interesting, and some of you might already have latched on to the idea that once you've displayed some information, what is the first record that shows up and in what order are they? Does that make sense? Sometimes it doesn't make any sense. So you'll want to have either the user do it. I think you might get into the world of trying to show things in an order. Really, this has a lot to do with ordering a list. So once you figure out how to get to a particular topic in your navigation, what order is it in? So this week is a lot of thinking. I don't want you to do more than one wireframe. Next week it will be a sequence of wireframes, but that's a whole different topic. So just as I said, let's keep it to one. And I think I also have an example here that a wireframe to me is really just a sketch. So if you can, this is one of mine, you're welcome to do this on a piece of paper. It's really about communicating the content. Where does the content go? What does it say? There's some rules here. If you have any questions, let me know. But I'm really more about how does the content fit into a different grouping or organizational hierarchy. So yeah, that's this week. I know we go really fast in this course. Thanks for everyone keeping up. But we're still at that information stage. As we finish up this project, then we'll get into some of the more higher level work. If you guys are interested, or you will be interested in things like ratings and popularity and some of the things that have been bubbling under the surface. So just realize they'll come, but they're not there yet. Right now, we just need something workable and usable and that uses the principles that we've covered so far. So good luck with this week, and I always look forward to your contributions on Mural, and I'll be there to help out as best I can. Thanks.